if you're running an international business, guys and ladies, and you need a company that actually does things, hold contracts, invoice clients, employ staff, open real bank accounts, not electronic bank accounts and e-money, there is one jurisdiction that comes to my mind that keeps coming back, and I use it myself, as you can see from my companies, and that is not the British Virgin Islands, it's not the Cayman Islands, it is Hong Kong, and in this video I'm going to explain why that is. So very key video here. I am Will Hodgson from HPT Group. We help entrepreneurs, business owners, high net worth individuals, ultra high net worth individuals, crypto investors, XYZ, and other types of individuals structure their companies and lives internationally, okay? Now, that's generally speaking about offshore entities, trusts, onshore entities, tax residencies, banking and asset protection. It all comes together as the same category, including citizenship as well. I've set up structures in dozens of jurisdictions, and I've seen what works and I've seen what doesn't. I speak with many legal advisors on a daily basis, okay? For operational companies, the business that actually trades and do the work, Hong Kong is one of the best places and best options available. I probably set up over 60, 70, 80 Hong Kong companies free of my own, and I'm going to explain why you would do that. Now, firstly, what is an operational company? Okay, let's be clear what I mean about this. It isn't a holding company sitting there owning assets, XYZ. It isn't an IP company with licensing trademarks. This is a company that actually does real business, okay? And it's one that signs client contracts, whether it's scope agreements, service agreements, sends invoices, receives payments, and maybe even employs people. For most entrepreneurs, it is the core or the bottom of the structure, depending on how you look at it. And where you put this company matters the most, more than any other actual choice, because it's their clients they're sending the money to. It could be about presence, trust, for example. If you're invoicing clients in British Virgin Islands, it's a different story than invoicing clients in particular industries from Hong Kong or companies such as in the UK or the Netherlands, XYZ. So get it wrong and you'll also have banking problems, business problems, tax exposure, credibility issues. And again, get it right, everything becomes much more easier, streamlined, and less time, so you can actually focus on business. But that's what we do for our clients. You can apply to become a client below in the link. Now, firstly, there is a territorial tax system. This is why I do choose Hong Kong. It operates on a territorial tax system, right? So this means if you're only taxed on profits from abroad, from Hong Kong. So all profits or income from abroad is completely tax-free. Now, if your clients are overseas, your services are delivered overseas, and it happens outside of Hong Kong, this is one of the perfect places for you. A lot of people like to choose Wyoming. I don't like Wyoming LLCs myself. Yes, there's great benefits. Yes, they're amazing for certain situations, but Hong Kong is my choice. This isn't a loophole. This is the system, okay? Hong Kong is operating this way for decades, absolutely decades, okay? Now, the income as offshore is not taxed in Hong Kong. That is a fact, okay? Now, you have to structure it correctly, don't get me wrong, and that's what we do help you do, okay? So compared to somewhere like the UK where you tax on worldwide income, right, or Thailand where the rules are completely changing, as I just kind of made a video on, Hong Kong gives you that certainty that you actually want, and that's what you're looking for. That is the cherry on top, as we would say in sales when I was working for fintechs in London, okay? You know where you stand, and that is super nice for entrepreneurs, such as myself, around the world. Now, all you actually have to do is to get an offshore claim, and that's accepted by the Inland Revenue Department. Let me get that right. That means you're filing properly, maintaining records, and you're being able to demonstrate that your profits are generally sourced outside of Hong Kong. But if your business model supports it, the tax position is very solid, and it provides that certainty that I was just actually on about, okay? So in terms of another topic of why I love to choose Hong Kong is the credibility and reputation. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world, best banks, competitive with Singapore. It's personal preference. I would say Singapore, but some people say Hong Kong. But clients, banking partners, payment processors, where your company is registered in terms of your operations really, really matters. So if you look at compare us against a BVI, Seychelles, I've used both, don't forget, and I've changed from the Seychelles. We used to run our service-based company from the Seychelles, sell out of London, and when it would come to Seychelles, we were not in the UK at all. It was simply a bit of the actual credibility of London being on websites, XYZ. We've now closed all of that down. Essentially, or currently closing it down, we are now 100% Hong Kong. And sometimes perception when you're in Seychelles or BVI can create friction with some of your clients, banking providers, suppliers, X, Y, Z. Now, Hong Kong, you do not have that problem. It is a major financial center. It's highly regulated, highly transparent and respected. Yes, there's always some monkey business in every single city, but generally speaking, when you show up with a Hong Kong company, you are taken seriously. Now, doors will open that otherwise would stay closed if you were in the Seychelles, British Virgin Islands, Nevis, for example, okay? So really, really think about that one right there. If you're in professional services, consulting, tech, trading, now, it's probably a good choice that you would actually have a company in Hong Kong, okay? So, next one is banking, okay? Now, if you ever try to open a bank account for an offshore company, you know you're going to have to use people like me, consultants and fintech owners from CCYFX, to open an EMI, electronic money account, and obviously we take a hefty fee for those services, right? Especially in the transactional volumes, okay? Hong Kong is different. Banking infrastructure is there. It's built for international business. It's a very small place. You've got HSBC, Standard Chartered, you've got Hang Seng and DBS. I bank with DBS in Singapore, not in Hong Kong. I'll be in Hong Kong next week. But yeah, there are real banks with proper multi-currency accounts that work great. Very fast, very easy. A client is, we've had money from 2 clients today. It's already shown up. I get my email. You've received your money. Okay, so then your order runs as fast as possible and business is as efficient as possible. Now, we've had things where we've had payment companies before and it takes 2 to 3 days to actually show up. And we then need to send this money to the suppliers, X, Y, Z, depending on how we're working with a client. So for us, it's key for very fast transactions. And also I get paid fast as well, which is always nice, okay? So once you have your Hong Kong bank account, you've got access to the global rails around the world. Integration is very seamless with payment processes and the ability to actually operate like a real business, okay? So in terms of other points is simplicity. We would take care of most things for you, but it is very simple in Hong Kong. Okay, Hong Kong companies are straightforward to actually set up. Compliance is a little bit heavy, not really notarized documents. It's more videos and KYC. But it just takes a few days with a local registered agent. You can do it online or you can do it through people like me, myself. We offer basically a very competitive rate for Hong Kong companies. And yeah, we're locally registered there as well, which makes things very easy for us to do so. But annual compliance is very manageable, pretty simple. Yes, there is accounting, but this brings benefits. It's more trusted. And again, that's why the banks are much better there. It's not like you're setting up somewhere where there is no such thing as accounting. Again, that removes and increases the banking friction because the banks don't even know what's going on apart from the transactions, if that makes sense. So you have to look at the eyes through all parties, you know, business partners, banks, very important areas of your business, which I'm sure you're already aware of, right? So compare that to the complexity of US LLCs with state-level variations, strange laws that work but don't, but work but don't, or UK companies with tax, or basically Hong Kong sits in a sweet spot where, you know, it's very nice, very nice. Now again, there's no foreign exchange controls as well, so it's a complete freedom of capital movement. You know, you can move freely in out and, you know, in and out in any currency without any restrictions or approvals. That sounds basic, but it's not. You know, trying to move large sums of money out of China, India, South Africa, Serbia, top of my head, you know, these limits are not great at all, okay? There's a lot of scrutiny. Hong Kong does not have this. It's a fantastic place for business, okay? And international businesses receiving payments from clients worldwide, which is probably why you would be there for the actual tax exemption, you know, paying contractors in multiple countries, paying suppliers in multiple countries. This matters. Your money is not trapped. You have full control. Another reason, top of my head, would be the gateway to Asia. You know, Singapore and Hong Kong are the 2 most expensive cities on the planet and the 2 best cities in the world to do business. Third comes in at Switzerland, then it goes New York, London, top of my head. We've seen South Korea rise in the ranks. I'm always keeping on top of this. If you're not, you can... I follow IMI Daily, Helium Partner. I read most articles online every single day as soon as I wake up to make sure I'm on top of the local regulation changes, tax changes, X, Y, Z. Okay, so having a gateway to Asia, again, with lawyers there, accountants there, an actual presence there, and bankers there, is a complete diversity strategy, I would say. That is fantastic. Yes, you can do Malaysia, but me personally, do I want to be living in a Muslim country? No. Do I mind living in Dubai? It's okay. But I left, you know. Do I want to be waking up at 6 a.m. when I'm Christian to, you know, being very influenced by, you know, surrounded by Muslims? I've got nothing wrong. I have many Muslim friends, you know, many business partners, many clients who are also Muslim. But I'm sure they would understand I am, a white guy from Britain. I would prefer to be, around my people. I don't judge, I'm not racist, but I'm just saying that. It's a straight fact. So I hope people don't take that the wrong way, but that is the truth, and I want to be around, maybe Buddhism is okay, or Christianity. Again, this is my personal preference, as I'm sure you are aware, don't take it out of context. But I personally don't want to be in Malaysia, for example, when I just don't really feel at home there, if that makes sense. I know certain people do live there and absolutely love it. But for me, myself, I've learned that it's not really the choice, such as Bali, where I am right now. Very nice. I went out to Lambrock. I didn't like it as much, Whether that means I'm racist or not, that is the fact, okay? So I hope that is very clear, and that wasn't taken out of context as well. But that's what I like about Hong Kong. It's very international business friendly. We've got people from every single culture in Hong Kong, and that's what's so nice about it. The food, the connectivity, the flights, you've got many airlines that fly there, and again, it is a global place for business, as I'm sure you're already aware about. It is not a place to be hiding money. It's not a zero tax jurisdiction. You'll pay, if you do have local sourced income, if you don't get the exemption, 8.2% on your first 2 million there, and then it's 16.5% on the remaining Hong Kong sourced income. So it's not a substitute for proper tax planning in your country of residence. Again, I am being a resident of Hong Kong right now after I've left Dubai and Thailand. But Hong Kong works as part of a coherent structure. It's great for operational companies. Where you've thought about and where you live and where your business operates, where your clients are, and how everything fits together, is a tool, and Hong Kong is that tool, if that usually makes sense, and it is one of the best, okay? So should you consider a Hong Kong company, consultants, service providers with international clients, agency owners, freelancers, e-commerce, guys, girls, trading and sourcing from China especially, trading business, buying and selling internationally essentially is great. And also tech companies with distributed teams globally and global revenue could also work fantastic as well. If your business is tied to one country, then probably Hong Kong is a place to you, okay? So if you're thinking about setting up in Hong Kong, you've already got an offshore structure, and you're not sure if it actually makes sense, we should talk. At HPT Group, we help entrepreneurs, global business owners, build a custom tailored solution for them. You can apply to become a client down below. We don't accept all clients, so don't get your heart broken if we don't accept you. It's how it is. Now, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, I believe we say, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheerio. Have a great day. Bye-bye.